everyone and welcome back. I wanted to pick up the camera today because we are in the final month of winter. God bless, because I hate the cold. I hate this season. I cannot wait for springtime and summer after that. But if you're anything like me, winter season is fantasy season. And I honestly feel like that goes for most people. Like, you just want that sort of vibe. You want good world building. You want an extraordinary plot line, whereas in the summertime, you know, a fun, cute, sweet little romance, a nice western or a beach rom-com. This month, my focus is jam-packing in as many fantasy books that are on my TBR as possible because my motivation to read fantasy is going to be waning in the summer months. I say that now, but I'll probably continue reading fantasy. It is my home genre after all. But my motivation to make this video was because there are a bunch of series that I'm currently in the middle of that I desperately need to get on top of and stay up to date with. The first one, luckily, has the third book coming out today, so we are about to go head to the bookstore and pick that one up. That is Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehra, which is the third book in the Villain series. So like, it was Assistant to the Villain, Apprentice to the Villain, and now Accomplice to the Villain, and I'm very, very excited about this book. This is a cozy fantasy rom-com and it's the silliest humor possible. It's slapstick, it's hilarious, it is so good. It won't be for everyone, but I personally love this series. It has me giggling out loud and kicking my feet. It's set in a medieval kingdom where a girl called Evie becomes the assistant to the kingdom's most notorious villain, who is aptly named the Villain. I'm obsessed with it. We have talking frogs. I believe there were dragons also. We have the funniest idiots in love storyline ever. So we're gonna go pick that up. That is the first series that I'm going to be catching up on. Before we do go to the bookstore though, I have a couple of parcels. We'll start with this one because I know what it is. It's my Amazon order. Oh, finally. It's the Jasad crown, and I didn't actually realize it was this thick. I have also ordered the Jasad Air, but it is sold out, so they're shipping that one to me later. God, I love this book. Insanely good. This book is true enemies to lovers, and it's like an Egyptian inspired magical world with a lost queen and the heir to an enemy kingdom and magical trials. Perfection. It's amazing. This next package I'm extremely excited for because it's a PR package from Penguin. A box is crazy, but like I said, I never usually get boxes. So this is making me very happy. It felt like Christmas when the postman knocked this morning. So we no longer need to go to the bookstore because I just unboxed that PR package. That full video's on TikTok. Here's the package. Yeah, I have Accomplice to a Villain. So thank you so much to Penguin Books for not only the book but this cute little mug as well with Kingsley on it. Oh my god, look at it in all its glory. I am so excited. So I guess we're gonna start reading. I'm also thinking, why not go outside? It's a beautiful sunny day in Sydney. I don't know if you can see, but we haven't had sun like that in such a long time. It's just been rain. So if I grab a picnic blanket, maybe I'll go buy a yochi. Yes, and then I'm gonna sit on the grass and read my book. And that would be like the perfect day. I can cosplay summer a little bit.
It feels like spring.
So I was reading for a couple of hours yesterday, and guys, it's going so well. Kingsley, my Shayla. Oh my god. I don't really want to say what's happening, but whenever Kingsley comes on the page. And then also the Villain and Evie's relationship. I want to say it's progressing, but they're still very much idiotic about it. I don't know. Now it's at that point where they kind of know where they stand, but they don't want to admit it for various reasons, or at least Tristan, he is yearner number one. He won't communicate a single thing, but in his mind he is obsessed with Evie. It's been that way since the start, honestly, so I don't really know why I'm shocked about it. We are currently right here, page 155, so I didn't get a lot done. I think the plot is picking up. It's definitely a lot slower in this one. I mean, it's slow throughout the entire series because it is more of a fantasy rom-com focused series. Now we're kind of getting en route to solving the prophecy, and I think everything's gonna work out. I do have some stuff to do this afternoon, so I'm gonna see what I can get done now. We're doing really well. There are only 30 pages left, which means I'm guaranteed to finish this book today. It's still not that plotty, however the romance is moving perfectly. Like, this is what I've been waiting for since book one. And I don't want to give anything away, but I'm very happy with how it's going. The problem with Idiots in Love is they don't communicate and miscommunication is usually something I really hate, but with an Idiots in Love trope, it's really endearing. So I have enjoyed watching the villain and Evie kind of dance around each other for the past couple of books, but this is the end of book 3. Okay, so I would have been really annoyed if it was dragged out once again, but I'm liking the direction it's going now. And I feel like I've got a newfound appreciation for so many of the different side characters in this story too. I finished. I had so much fun, and this book kind of picks up right where the ones before it left off, where there is this prophecy that has been revealed. We have been introduced to a bunch of characters whose perspectives we all get in this story, and we get to continue following Evie and the villain as they address this prophecy, try to solve a couple of magical curses, and continue to deny their attraction towards each other. But I think the romance progresses so much in this book. This series as a whole is definitely a rom-com series, but this one is like where things start moving, which is really nice. Finally, the found family in this, or like the fact that we now know all of these characters, was so great because I was so connected to all of them. I cared deeply about their perspectives and the different storylines that were occurring as well. This book had me giggling out loud, but that's not any surprise to me because all of the other books in this series have managed to do that as well. Kingsley, my Shayla, I feel like this was Kingsley's book. Every time he came on the page, my heart. This is how I felt about Bartholomew as well. Like, I don't know why these frogs, these gargoyles, they just have something in them this year. And if you've read this book and you've read The Night and the Moth, you'll know why I'm making that connection between them. With that being said, this book had pacing issues. Of course, like all of the books in this series are pretty slow because the plot is not the main thing that's driving the story forward. It's a lot more the romance or the development of the relationship between the different characters. But yeah, it was definitely very, very slow. In fact, I just think we had a lot of stuff happening in this ending chunk, whereas not a lot was happening up here. That was a bit of an issue, but I still enjoyed my time with this book. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be giving this 3.5 stars in that I really liked it. It was quite enjoyable, but it wasn't mind-blowing. I know with the first two, I genuinely just felt pure joy at reading them. With this one, that charm was still there, but it's definitely not my favorite in the series, except like the romance aspect and Kingsley. Those are my favorite parts of this book. And tomorrow we're going to be moving on to a very, very different sort of book. So we've read a new release and continued with that series, but there is another series that I am in the middle of that I really need to get a move on. And that is A Song of Ice and Fire. If you've been following around for the past, I think like 2 months or so, I have been gradually working my way around A Song of Ice and Fire. I have read A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, and the first part of A Storm of Swords. My goal for the rest of this video is to complete A Storm of Swords. So it's such a big book. It's over 1,000 pages long, so my editions are actually divided into parts 1 and 2. I do really want to finish this, hopefully within the next couple of days, because I'm very excited for the next book. I said mistakenly in my YouTube video, I think last week, that Arya would be joining the Faceless Men in this book. No, she'll be joining them in this book, and that is one of my favorite plot lines ever, so I can't wait to get around to that. But in the meantime, I do want to get through this. I'm pretty sure that this is the book in which the Red Wedding is going to happen, and I won't spoil what the Red Wedding is. Let's just say it's a real turning point in the series. As for what I felt about part 1 of A Storm of Swords, it was definitely a lot slower, but the one thing that I can really see is character development, especially when it comes to Daenerys. The fact that I'm such a big fan of this show has helped me so much, especially dealing with all of the different character perspectives and all of the different plot lines that come along with it, because I don't feel lost. Like, I know why they have a place in the story. I know where the storyline is going to go, and I really do like that. It helps because sometimes I know when there's just a bunch of POVs tossed in. There are some POVs that are superior to others, and I just want to skip through a couple of them, but that did not happen with this series so far, because even when I'm bored, even when I'm like, I don't want this perspective, I know why it's important and I know what's going on. But without further ado, let's just get to reading this one. Okay, it's bedtime and I'm halfway through. I was really busy today, though somehow I managed to squeeze in 308 pages of reading, mainly because I couldn't stop, which actually does make me a little over halfway through, given this book has 550 pages. So far, a lot of very interesting things have happened. The Red Wedding, of course that happened. That actually happened pretty early on. And then Olenna, Joffrey, I'm not going to say exactly what I mean, but if you've watched Game of Thrones or you've read these books, you know what I'm referring to. Things have changed. The lines of power have shifted once again, and I'm so excited. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I should be able to get this done tomorrow. I think the first book of A Storm of Swords that I read, because this is split into 2 parts, that one was rather slow, but this one is moving a lot faster and it's so much more interesting. That's my update for now. I'll see you when I've finished. And I've finally done it. I have finished reading A Storm of Swords Part 2, which means I've now read 3 out of 5 of the books in A Song of Ice and Fire. I only have 2 left. I'm going to be giving this entire book 4 stars. I think that while the first half of the book was really boring, this book in particular, so much was happening. I don't know how George R.R. Martin manages to just toss the 7 kingdoms into upheaval every single book, but like, chaos is reigning supreme right now. There is so much in this book that just changes the leadership, the stability of the 7 kingdoms. Like, granted, that happened when Ned and Robert died. The plot thickens, the plot gets worse, and we get introduced to so many interesting characters here, like Olenna Tyrell, one of my favorites in the show. It was so easy and so quick to read as well. And oh yes, the character development, it's improving so much. I can see this with regards to Tyrion. Arya, of course, but she's like growing, so that's to be expected. But also Daenerys. Daenerys was undoubtedly one of the characters that developed the most in this book. There were certain perspectives I didn't find as interesting. For example, Sam, Jon, Davos, like those 3, I was a little tired whenever they came up, but that's okay. I think for the majority, I thought this book was really, really good. I will, of course, be taking a mini break from this series. My goal was always to just read one A Song of Ice and Fire book per month of winter and hopefully get it done by the end of the year. I am really excited for the next book, which is A Feast for Crows. But of course, I will be back to finish off the rest of the series. I probably will be reading the final 2 books on this channel as well. But that brings us to the end of this video. This was my little attempt to just finish off my winter TBR by getting through some fantasy reads. Of course, I don't really feel like Accomplice to a Villain is a winter fantasy kind of book. That's definitely an autumn spring kind of book, but regardless, I really enjoyed making this video and I'll see you next week. Bye.